Julian Sr. left us in 1951, and Eulalie softly whispered her hopes to me.
I hope he's on the front bench in heaven, because the Lord knows he deserves it for putting up with me all these years.
In some ways, women in my second life were bound by more restrictive gossamer chains than Lucy or Cinda ever wore. Eulalie's passion for women's suffrage had guided the course of her life, but more often than not, she followed her mentor's directive to be a white-gloved lady rather than a rambunctious revolutionary. The same man who had convinced his own son to strip away the rights of his daughter-in-law, Lucy Tillman, had also been influential in restricting the rights of other Southern citizens. Whereas once women and men of both races had occupied my rooms, now there was a decided separation, a breach. Although Eulalie always held on to her progressive visions for women, other inequities were automatically overwritten by her culture.
Black and white together!
Still, there were those people who kept on explaining how much more all humans are alike than they are different. And I noticed once again that really significant changes seemed to travel at a snail's pace. For all the hard work that she and other courageous women had done to finally secure the vote for women, the legislature had not yet formally sanctioned the 19th Amendment to the Constitution in South Carolina. But Eulalie never stopped reminding them that they had snubbed ratification, and she never forgave them either. After a 50-year wait, Governor Robert McNair finally signed the amendment with Eulalie looking over his shoulder. He then refused to give her the pen as a keepsake.
You careless little boys. I've been waiting 50 years to tell you what I think of you. I think I should have been a man, or have been born 50 years later, for from now on, women are going to be so much more on their own than ever before. My granddaughters will live in the most wonderful era. They will get the benefits of true women's emancipation. And one of them may be president yet.
Miss Lucy would drop in from time to time. This was her house, too, explained Eulalie when she got a little too rambunctious. Just as had happened to every human before her, Eulalie had to leave me, too. In March of 1975, it was like being awakened from a dream to find myself suddenly alone again. When Eulalie's estate was settled in 1985, I was finally sold to a real estate developer. Then I reached out with all the feelings I'd learned to express from my humans. Save me. Don't let me be alone again. I want life. I want laughter. I want to cradle people again. But where can an old house go that sits in a grove of oaks just waiting for modern houses to take her place? I met new people who loved history and worked diligently to make sure that my name was not lost, but became linked with those whom I had loved and who had loved me. It took vision. It took hard work. It took commitment until, at last, a dedicated group of people, including Eulalie's son, made sure that I would only be moved just one last time. So once more, I was carried to new ground, where I awakened to a new purpose. Only blocks from where I stood on Calmia Hill, the University of South Carolina-Aiken offered me a place where I could stay forever. Now, all kinds of people walk my floors, and each day I whisper my memories to those who come in and out of my doors. In some way, they can sense how time has moved through me. And to those new people who inhabit the same rooms where Lucy, Cinda, Dushika, and Eulalie once lived, I have more than enough tales to tell about the remarkable spirits who resided in this very space before them. As Eulalie once said,
"Don't you know that the things of this world are only loaned to us for a little while?"
as were all of those souls who were on loan to me and who have given me a memory, who have given me a story, who have given me a name.